Wa is going to honor us next. And she has published books on yoga and healing. She owns a record label. She teaches women's workshops. She teaches cancer survivor classes, and she creates community focused on service projects bringing harmony to Mother Nature and its people. She's an innovator. She has high energy. She's transformative and expansive and just really wants to pass that on to the rest of the world. So if you'll join me in welcoming Wa.
Hi, everybody. Okay. I've really enjoyed being here and visiting all the programs and just meeting everybody that is working with children. Children have more alpha wave activity in their brains naturally. Adults are more dominant in the beta wave frequency. So beta wave is normal activity. Alpha wave is that kind of in-between state. It's a fantasy world. It's what you feel when you move into yoga nidra. It's daydreaming. And so children are in that place. And so people that work with children have the capacity to go there, because if you can't go there, you can't teach them. So I'm having a wonderful time connecting with people in semi-quasi alpha wave state. I got the education credits I needed to teach in New York City public schools some time ago in the 1970s. But as a mother, as my daughter, an educator, my focus was geared towards meditation and yoga. So I taught yoga to children for about 10 years at a yoga camp. And these children were ages 3 to 10. Summer camp for ages 3 to 10. We had a blast. So this booklet, and the CD that came out of it was basically my exploration with the children of how do you teach yoga to children. So like I said before, you have to go to where they're at. They don't have the brain development to approach something intellectually. So you have to move through fantasy, you have to move through play. There's some other people who have spoken about that, the brain here at this conference. So we did songs and games about breathing, chakras, meditation, and emotional expression. So you can see here, Weaving was a song that we did about the chakras and talking about them. I am happy, happy thoughts. So, and a really beautiful meditation called Yes, No. So you begin, this anybody could do. And I do it with adults as well. You sit down for 3 minutes, you say no. Let's try it for a minute. We'll do 15 seconds of no. All right, meditation, your mantra, no. All right, just say no, 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 mm-mm, no, 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 no. Now skip to yes, 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 yes. You automatically smile, yes, yes. So this is such a simple way to teach children how they can attract what they want. So things that are no are things that don't feel good. Things that are yes are things that bring a smile, things that match your system. So these games were used in the public school systems and also in children's programs. But what I didn't expect was that it would be used by what they called special ed at that time. So these are 2 young boys with Down syndrome, and they are doing the song that we're going to do, which is, if I can breathe, then I know I'm alive. So I taught through song, and I taught through yoga, and it became very popular in special education departments because it works. So I'm really pleased that these are normal, regular classrooms, helping children identify their emotional states. So, and the booklet is really for the educators so that we can know what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So the games, they increase coordination, they help self-esteem, they do all the things that now we know that yoga does, but 25 years ago, I was out there having to describe why. And in some ways, I still am. You know, people are very heady. They want to approach it from an intellectual level, and when you're teaching children, it's not, there are skills that you have, and you're aware of what you're doing, but you still just have to let go of it and just have fun and kind of model what it's like to be an authentic human being. And I think with the onset of testing and, you know, the rewards that go along with testing, which is, you know, funding, and in California, it's being a distinguished school. This is all done through test scores and through a standardized curricula, which is in some ways suffocating to the creative spirit and the human interaction between the children and their teachers. So I think all of us know that a good teacher is someone that actually connects with the students. And so we want to make sure that as yoga teachers, you know that that's what you're providing. You might be the only one who's providing that. If there's a very large ratio between teachers and students, when you're coming in to teach yoga, it might be the only moment. You might be the only authentic adult that they meet that day. And you say, hey, how's it going? You have to ask. You have to create human interaction in order to establish a real relationship with children so that they know that you're going to offer something that's not standardized, that you're going to offer something that's real, that is appropriate to the moment, and that they can count on you. And through over time, then, they can trust you. So this is the song, and we'll have Sai, our incredible engineer. Have you appreciated him yet today? Thank you, Sai. So this is the song we created, which may or may not come on. So it goes like this. If I can breathe, then I know my breath. It's right inside of me. So try that again. If I, whoops. All right, let's start from the beginning. So I'll teach. You can stop for a second. So the way that I teach it to children is we start talking about where's the breath. So we start pointing. And one of the most fun things to do with kids is to try and trick them. So you're like, is your breath in here? And they're like, no. It's like, is your breath in here? It's like, no. But most people don't know that the breath goes from the shoulders all the way down to the diaphragm. So we identify where it is, and then I teach them the song. If I can breathe, then I know I'm alive. Where's my breath? It's right inside, right. And then we point to the places. Inside of me, like that. So then they're making actual physical contact with the body. So what I find more and more with digital devices is that people walk around as like walking heads. And the children are doing that too. They're walking like this. And so by the time they come to me, they don't know they're breathing. They don't know they're in a body. And so as we start breathing and we start talking, then eventually I watch their nervous system soothe, and I watch them come back down into their bodies. So first one that we go to is roar like a tiger. So how many of you know Simhasana? It's the lion's breath. Okay. Simhasana looks like this. Okay. You want to try? Okay, here we go. Ready? It's got to be scary. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So why is that first? Because everything that's not like you has got to go away. Everything that doesn't feel good to the child needs to go away, and they need to learn basically how to clear the space. So if we're going to do something that's going to invite in good energy and is going to be something that feeds the self, then anything that is unlike love, that is unlike what feels good, needs to go away. So that's why we do the scary stuff first. So if there is something scary in your life, you don't just sit there and take it. You do this. You do the first breath. And it's like, God, what's gotten into you? They leave. That's what you want. You want the people who are nasty and are just like going to diss you, you want them to go and find some other activity. And the people that want to do something that's self-nurturing, then they come. Next one is panting like a puppy dog. So we go through all of these things, on the floor, hands on. And the puppy dog, I say, is it's the real dog, all right? So we get down on our hands and knees, and then we wag our tails. You might be able to do that. You stick your tongue out, and you pant, all right? So let's try that one. Okay, how does your tongue feel? Does it feel nasty? No? Okay, we have to do it again. Good. So at a certain point, hopefully by now, you taste something on your tongue. You taste something? These are toxins that are releasing out of the body. So we all move through our lives and we pick up different things. They have to be released. All right? So that's how dogs do it. So you do downward facing dog, right? So you have to learn to breathe like a dog, because that's how they expel. And that's how you expel too. Hissing like a snake. Shall we try? Inhale through the nose. Beautiful. So did you notice how that lengthened your exhale? All right? So as you're working with the children and you play games and you identify with different animals, then you're using those animals as an excuse to then teach them these principles. So any kind of yogic breathing is going to, when it's effective, it's going to slow down the cycle of the breath. So when we're agitated, we're out in the playground, we're playing, we're exercising, we're moving, then the breath is fast. And when we're agitated, when we're yelling at each other, oh yeah, well, and you too, and then she said, okay, do you get that breath cycle? It's agitated, okay? It's not in a place of self-connection. When you use yogic breathing with the children, if you can get their exhale to slow down, they will then automatically come to a place of self-connection and often automatically just go to a place of peace. So hissing is really good, whistling is really good, blowing is good. When I work with the cancer patients in San Francisco, we just make the sound of the wind. So let's try that one. So it's because, some people feel like they can't do anything. I don't know how we got to that point, that we haven't loved each other enough or we haven't cared for each other enough. Some people feel like they can't do anything. And so it's like, no, but you can breathe. And every time you exhale, it's a gift to the plants and the trees. Just like open the window and just go, ah. That's like you're doing a benefit to the world by doing that. So when we're with the cancer patients, and especially the children, we say, just make the sound of the wind. So let's try that, and that will also lengthen your breath, but it's fun, okay? Here we go. Inhale through the nose. Good. And then using the imagery of the wind moving through the trees. This is for people who can't whistle. They've lost their puckering muscles. That's a joke. So you can get people to whistle. That also lengthens the breath. So laughing. Laughing I do in almost every yoga class. And the reason that I do it is because it's the correct engagement of the diaphragm. So most people, when they breathe from the top of the lungs, and they just, and you know what else? Oh, and then, oh, I saw this great thing. Oh, hey, there's Susie. And it's all from here. Okay? It's only when you laugh that you actually engage the diaphragm. So you can place your hand on your belly. And let's start with giggling, because like laughing is maybe too much of a leap, all right? So it's Washington, D.C., you know. We have to be politically correct. So we'll start with giggling, and you can just giggle about a certain secret, so. Okay. So what happens when you giggle and you laugh or you cough, that's also a nice byproduct of laughing and giggling, is that it emphasizes the exhale. So there are a couple of things about yogic breathing. One is that the ratio of the inhale and the exhale are somehow proportional. So you may inhale for 4 counts and you may exhale for 8. Or you may inhale in 4 counts, hold the breath, exhale in 4 counts. There's some proportion to the breath when you do yogic breathing. The other thing that happens in yogic breathing is that you either emphasize the inhale or you emphasize the exhale. So things that emphasize the inhale would be yawning. I don't know, can't think of them right now. So there are things that emphasize the inhale, and then there's things that emphasize the exhale. Inhale is good. Most people want to inhale. Exhale is the getting rid of. People don't do it as well. And so a lot of the breathing that I do emphasizes the exhale. Laughing is one of them. So as you laugh or giggle, then sometimes people start coughing. Why? Because there's stuff that needs to be expelled from the body. So other things, well, let's just go forward then. So laughing then is the right way to breathe. And people do it correctly. It actually helps the body to restabilize. And it makes all the digestion work. It helps the liver and the pancreas to secrete the things that they need to, because the diaphragm then presses down on the organs. Okay, so then we have people snore. Why? Because it's the wrong way to breathe. So you got to know the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. So they say wag more and bark less. So I say laugh more and snore less. All right, so let's try snoring. Aren't alpha waves great? Good. Absolutely no yogic benefit to what you just did. All right, so blowing like a whale. So what we do is we inhale. This is called kumbhaka in yoga. And so we inhale through the nose. And you retain the breath. So you seal the windpipe. And then just so that the children know that they have the breath inside them, that's like a gift that they have, then we blow it out like a whale. So just blow it out as hard as you can through the mouth. Good. Blowing out like this, or doing Bhastrika, or doing skull shining. These are all breaths that then help to expel and clear the brain. So let's try it one more time. Inhale through the nose. And get ready. 1, 2, 3, go. Good. Feel lighter? Yeah. You can also take bad things, things that happened that you didn't like, a fight in the playground, some test that you couldn't do, and you put it in the breath, So it's like that test that I didn't like to do. So then you inhale that test. And you're like, okay, feel how that felt to take that test that wasn't very easy to do and you weren't sure that you did well. You just hold it and feel it. And then when we let it go, we're just going to blow that test right out of your consciousness and you're not going to be with it anymore. 1, 2, 3, here we go. You're healed. All right, yawning. Yawning emphasizes the inhale. All right, so there are some breaths. If you do the proportion of the yogic breathing, you may do things that emphasize the inhale. So if you're doing Bhastrika, which is the bellows breathing, and you emphasize the inhale, that's one way to access or exaggerate the inhale. Yawning is also another really good way to emphasize the inhale. So let's try yawning. Right? So why don't we do that more? Why wouldn't you just begin your class with a bunch, thank you, with a bunch of yawning that just then naturally goes towards laughter. So then you've been able to refresh the system and you've been able to balance the system then through the laughter after that. Howling is just fun. So if it's going to be too serious, the kids are just not about it, right? Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh! It's so defiant, isn't it? We went to a yoga class and then we said, oh! Send a message to Obama. Oh! It's fun, right? Good. So no yogic benefit. Sniff like a bunny, this is Bhastrika. So in and out the same proportion, or as you work with them and they get more comfortable with it, you can emphasize the exhale and you'll have skull shining, or you can emphasize the inhale and get more circulation, more oxygen into the body. So place your hands on either side of the rib cage, and we call it sniffing like a bunny. Am I done? Okay, inhale. And why don't we play that song one time? Sai, can you play that song for us, and then I'll let you guys go.
It's right inside, right
Oops, so I'll go back.
inside of me. Oh, if I can breathe, then I know I'm alive. Where's my breath? It's right inside, right inside of me.
Okay, here we go. This is Kumbuka.
Be invincible, strong, convincible. Nothing's impossible.
Now
let
blow.
the breath go
Out. And dance.
If I can breathe, then I know I'm alive. Where's my
Cell
breath?
phone.
It's right inside, right inside of me.
I will just do a couple of the breathings and then we'll stop.
I can roar
Like I'd
a
be scary.
or pant like a puppy dog. Want to see me hiss like a
Here we go.
and you'll get a hiss.
You can do this with movements, right? All right, keep hissing.
It's a hiss.
Yeah, do we have time for one more verse? All right, hopefully.
Oh, if I can breathe, then I know I'm alive.
This is the dancing
Where's
part.
my breath? It's right inside, right inside of me. Oh, if I can breathe, then
I don't hear anybody.
Where's my breath?
It's right inside, right
inside of me.
Here we go.
Take a
Oh.
deep breath
Oh.
and hold it.
Anyway, it goes through all of the different ones. Thank you so much.